to Unsigned518. I'm here with Geoff and Kurt of The Jagaloons. How's it going, gentlemen?
Hey,
Fantastic. How you doing?
I am, well, just like you, I had a gig last night, so I'm a little bit hurt. And how are you guys feeling? How was your show?
I'm definitely hurting today.
Well, you're tired.
I'm tired, but
Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah, I mean, I guess
I'm a little
mean
sore
by
because
hurt.
we get old, and that's what happens.
I'm feeling great because I'm younger than him
Oh,
Nice.
yes,
by a year.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
And last night's show, I mean, I was saying, like, I was like, oh, we want to talk about permanent things, but I do want to mention last night's show. It's already happened, but playing with the Slackers, you said
Yeah.
that it was like one of the first bands, and their music has hit, like, I mean, on my Spotify, like, top of the year. They've been in it every year since like 2014, and I was just like so thrilled for you guys, And I mean, Kurt, we've never even actually met until today, but I was like, I am so happy for those guys, man. Opening for the Slackers. That's so it was
great. I
great,
mean, that's the first time I had been in Lark Hall too, which is fucking like fantastic, beautiful place.
yeah.
And I mean, the stage is great, the whole setting, and it was fun. And yeah, that was the first time I'd seen the Slackers since 1993. And they were great, just really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just a real fun show.
We were supposed to play with them 2020, 2021, somewhere in there
Yeah.
at the Hangar, and then the pandemic squashed that.
Yeah.
And then we tried to set something up again, and it just fell through.
Yeah, it was good. I mean,
So
and
third time's the charm.
really
Yeah,
nice
I
guys,
guess, yeah.
really down to earth. So it was fun.
I was really bummed that I had to miss it. I was like, God damn, I would have loved to see that.
It was
But
fun.
anyway, so we want to, I guess, kind of start off, talk a little bit about, your musical influences, how the band got started. Obviously, doing 60s inspired surf rock is not something that you see a lot in scenes, so you stand out, I guess. And I can't even tell you how much I love your fucking music. Like, and it's the kind of music that you show people, you know what I mean? It's the kind of music that you can't help but be like, hey, you got to listen to this. Check this out, So me personally, I just want to say I'm a big fan before we get going. But I guess if whoever wants to take the lead and kind of go into how everything kind of came together.
Sure. So myself and Josh, bass player, we were in a hardcore band, Aggressive Response. And so back in 2015, we all showed up for practice, and our singer did not. And it was kind of like everybody was not really in the mood to play our stuff. So we were just kind of screwing around and noodling with some stuff. And I kind of threw out, like, we should form a surf band. And much to my surprise, everybody was really into that idea. Yeah. Like, it's one of those things, like, you don't know that your friends are into that music, and then it's like, oh wait, you're really into it. So the original lineup was me, Josh, Joey, and Jared, and so like we jammed on some stuff that night. I had a couple of old songs years ago. I was in a surf band that never really made it out of the practice space, and so kind of I had those in the pocket still, so we just kind of started learning those. And then, what was it, like 2016, probably, I think? 2016 or 17.
Yeah, 2016 or 2017, I think. Yeah.
Jared left the band because he was in like 5 bands at once, and he just couldn't handle all the workload. And I had been in a band with Geoff, this band Talonback. We were in that band for like 7 years together, probably.
Yeah, that's early in the mid 2000s.
And that was just like Thin Lizzy meets Motorhead meets
all the stoner,
Helicopters,
the
like
stoner metal stuff that we were all into at that time.
So, we needed a drummer, and Geoff was kind of first on my mind. And I never really knew that Geoff liked surf. So I kind of threw like, hey, would you want to play in the surf band I'm in? And he's like,
I never knew I liked surf either, really. It was just funny. Like, Kurt and I were in that band together, and that band broke up, and I hadn't seen Kurt, and then we ran into each other at the mall.
Oh yeah, right? That's right.
And it's like, oh, what are you up to? I was starting a surf band. I'm like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And then literally like less than a month later, you texted me and
like, you want to play in that band?
I was like, yeah, because I hadn't been playing since To Hell and Back, so it had been a few years since I was even playing in a band.
So then we had that lineup for a while, and Joey left the band in like 2021, and then we've just been a trio since. I think the dynamics of just worrying about 3 people and scheduling,
and no singer.
Oh yeah, we've never had a singer.
Right, no, but that is one of the best.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing. You know,
no offense to singers,
but just our turnaround time on like writing a song and being able to play it out live,
right,
is so much faster because you're not waiting on somebody having writer's block
or melodies,
trying to like flush out lyrics and stuff. It's like Geoff and I are the ones that write everything, and so one of us will come up with something. And then we'll kind of workshop it at practice for a little bit. And then after a few practices, it's like, all right, let's try it at a show.
That's awesome.
And then it's like,
I mean, lyrics not slow everything. Well, actually, yeah, I'll fucking say it. Lyrics slow everything down.
Yeah.
It's like, same. We'll write a song in like an hour and then be like, all right, let's write lyrics to it. And then like 6 weeks later, it's like, it's coming.
I can't imagine trying to, I mean, I've never had to go through it, but I can't imagine trying to tell a story and just being, for me, I can't imagine ever feeling comfortable with it being done. And I feel like every band I've ever been in with a singer, that's always the thing. Are the lyrics done? I think so, almost done. And then it's just blah, 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 blah. And
it's tough. Yeah.
And the other thing too for us, which is great, is we can think of any title for the song that we want to because it has zero association with the song or the lyrics of the song. So it's like whatever most of our song titles are stupid shit that we say to each other when we're
inside
driving
jokes
in our vans,
or stupid puns or like pop culture references, and then like they usually end up fitting the vibe of the song somehow. Like you're like, oh, this feels kind of like, you know, more of like a Mexican kind of spaghetti western feel, and it's like, all right, well, that's paired with a ridiculous title that goes with that, and well, that one's on Urban Dictionary. You guys can figure that one out for yourselves.
Oh geez, yeah.
Inside jokes are great.
Yes.
So
it's an adventure for the listener,
right?
Put it that way.
And like I said, I love like when you say like, you know, the 3-piece without a singer, and I may even end up editing this out if I'm not comfortable with putting my opinions out, but like the Red Hot Chili Peppers would be one of my favorite bands if the fucking singer wasn't there.
Oh, yeah.
I am 100% with you.
Yeah,
like
musically, they're very talented.
And like listening to the 3 of them jam is like I've seen so many videos, and I'm like, those 3, and then
Anthony
fucking
Kiedis
comes in, and I'm just like, cool. Now I don't like that song. Awesome.
And it's like, oh, a 3rd grader wrote your lyrics.
Right.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah. Or a 60-year-old.
Oh, another
pervert.
song about California. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly.
So
scatting? I don't even know what that is.
he probably doesn't even know. But yeah, no, maybe I'll leave it in. Everybody knows I hate the Chili Peppers song.
I'm with you.
Yeah, this is a unified front there.
Cool.
Space,
Yeah.
In the trust tree.
But I never even thought of it in the way of like making the whole process quicker and more streamlined, because, you know, I just always, music has a guitar player, a bass player, a drummer, and a singer.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you always think of it that way. So I love bands that are like, no, we're going to do things different. So.
It's all like musically, it's challenging because you still want to try to convey emotion or some type of story or some kind of feel, right? You don't want it to just be dead noise. So from a writing standpoint, when you don't have the vocals there and the instrumentation has to carry that effect, you know, like it's a lot more challenging. And that's what's drawn me to be doing it, because after, you know, I've played in punk, hardcore, metal bands since 94. And, you know, it's very different playing basically lead the whole song versus just banging some chords out underneath a vocal line. So that's what I enjoy about it.
Well, and the other thing too, for, you know, not having lyrics also means that you can't write a 4 or 5 minute song, because people's attention span.
We have one.
But people's attention spans, you know, can't. So if we have to write 2 to 3 minute songs, that means you have to write a lot of 2 to 3 minute songs to be able to do
and be good at editing.
A set or
you know,
two.
like self-editing
Sure.
and recognizing like we shouldn't do that part 2 more times at the end. Like it's too much.
Yeah.
Like it's not adding anything to the song at that point, you know. So
because the reality is most people, you know, when we play out, unless they're coming into it knowing what they're getting into. Like last night, you know, we were playing a ska show and we were the surf band and people knew that. But if we're playing a bar and people were walking in and out, they're very confused that we're not. There's nobody singing, and we have to be like, hey, we're not singing.
We're not doing covers,
and we're not gonna do Beach Boys songs, and we're you know, it takes a little while. So if we do like a long drawn out instrumental, they're gonna be like, well, this is boring, you know. So we have to keep it peppy, keep it snappy, right?
And at its core, surf is dance music,
right?
So it's
absolutely.
like, you know, you want to keep something to get it. The most fun shows, I think, are when people are really into it and we have people genuinely dancing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I mean,
like,
that's to me definitely what surf music. Surf music to me is just when you hear of it, you just think fun. Like, who's gonna be fucking sad listening to like a Dick Dale song? You know what I mean? Like, it's like impossible.
It's like the old '60s surf stomps and stuff, and just like it's the best music to drive to. Yeah, and it's just, you know, energy. So.
But we definitely have drawn influences from all of our other musical influences too. I mean, so we're not by any means a traditional surf band, but we definitely have that's the core. But, you know, like Kurt said, you know, we all played in punk, hardcore, metal. I played in ska bands. It's like we pull all those influences in, so that's what keeps it interesting for us, for sure. Because if we were just gonna be a traditional surf band, it wouldn't grab. I don't think the three of us would.
And within the surf music genre, there is traditional surf,
right,
which is very limited. Like the bands sound like they're from 61 to 64, and that's it. Like,
and when you say like, is it like chord structure traditional type? Like all the songs are kind of fitting in this.
It's just a very classic. Like if you listen to it, you wouldn't know that it's from 2024. Okay. You would think it was from 1963. You know, just like the structures, the
tone, maybe even
the tone, the effect, like the lack of any pedals. You know, basically guitar into reverb tank into amp. Like that's it. But like we'll do stuff that's more spacey, or, you know, I'll play with delay on this song, or some, you know, flanger, or, you know, phaser or something, and, you know, that goes outside of the traditional surf realm. So we're kind of, in some senses, we might be all over the place, but it's still cohesive to us. You know, like we'll go, one song will be like spaghetti western into something that's bordering surf punk, into something that's very traditional sounding, into something that's just weirdness, you know. So
But I mean, as a listener, I love that shit. Like, I love it. Like, because like you were saying, Geoff, it keeps it interesting, and like, you know, you're not just listening to, or you're not anticipating what's coming, because that's what comes in a surf song. You know what I mean? It fits in that genre, but it's, I don't know, it's.
And I think it keeps us from getting bored, right? Because if we were just hammering out the same basic song again and again and again, it's like you can only do that so often. And I think one of the other things, too, is because we're a three-piece, unlike a lot of surf bands, I think we put a lot of effort into having the bass do more, as opposed, a lot of times traditionally it's the bass and drums just lock in and are kind of backing for the guitar. And we really try to work to make it a composition, and the bass carries like a counter melody most of the time, or even sometimes more of the melody. So, which kind of is abnormal for our genre.
Cool. Well, what do you think about playing a song, maybe?
That sounds great.
What do you want to play?
Let's do Huevos. Okay.
Yeah, this song's called Huevos con Salchicha, which is the best breakfast you'll ever have. It's eggs and hot dogs. It's a Mexican it's a Mexican delicacy. I highly recommend it to the listener. Dice up some hot dogs, fry them in a pan, mix them in some scrambled eggs. enjoy your breakfast.
Oh well, I have all those fixings in my refrigerator, and I haven't had.
You're never going to go back.
Sweet.
It's a legit thing. If you know, you know.
All right.
Huevos con salchicha.
All right. Well, let's listen to Huevos con salchicha. Did I get
Chicha.
that? Chicha.
Chicha.
All right.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
I'll get it. I have to eat it first, and then it'll
Yeah,
just come to me.
then you'll have that epiphany that you're like, what have I been doing wrong all my life?
From the Jagaloons, and then we'll be right back to talk some more with Geoff and Kurt. That was Huevos con Salchicha from the Jagaloons. And while we were listening to the song, I was talking, and I'm definitely going to make that.
Yeah,
I'm
delicious.
I'm very excited. And so is that one off the upcoming album?
Yeah, that's going to be off our new record that's coming out at the end of May digitally, and then later this
And
summer. Yes, CD and digital.
Which is still digitally, I guess, but
yes,
physically digitally.
right. And then the LP is coming out a little bit later, late spring, early summer, on a new label for us called. We just got onto it, Missing Fink Records. So
They're out of Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah.
And they put out a bunch of surf and punk and stuff. So
we're really excited. It's a record that we recorded about a year ago. It was interesting because we've put out a lot. So since I've been in the band, 2018, is that what we said?
you joined in like 2017.
Yeah. So the first record came out in 2019, called "Ruin the Party," and that was a full length LP put out by Sharawaji Records. And then, we kind of rode that for a while. We recorded an album full of covers.
We did that ourselves in 2020.
Yeah, and we put that out, and that was right before the pandemic that hit. And then kind of we kind of just sat around for a while like everybody else, and just what do we want to do? And when we came back out of it and we started getting together, we just said, well, let's just write a bunch of songs. we'll record them ourselves, you know, and then see what we're gonna do with it. So we recorded 8 songs at that point at my house, and we mixed them, and we said, well, you know, what do we want to do? And it turned out 4 of those songs were really kind of had
Thematically,
yeah,
they fit together.
So we put out a 10-inch of Taco Bell inspired song titles.
So that's called "Walk, Don't Run for the Border." So
that came out.
it's an amalgam of classic surf nonsense and Taco Bell stupidity.
So we put 4 songs out on that, and then we had 2 songs that we put out on a split 7-inch with a band from down in
Chattanooga.
Yep, called Genki Genki Panic, and that was 2 more of those songs, and then we had 2 songs left. So at that point, you know, we kind of we're good, and we're just playing, and we had gone down to Georgia, and we played a little run of shows down in the southeast, and we played a festival, and we got done, and this guy just came up to us and said, "Hey, I'm Johnny, and I'm putting out your next record." And it was really interesting because at that point, we didn't really have a plan of what we were going to do again. I mean, we were still writing songs, and we
didn't have an album's worth
right,
of
we
stuff
didn't
at
have.
that time.
We had 2 songs left over from the 8 that we did, and then we had a few that we were playing. And then it was like, okay, I'm gonna put out a record. So we came back from that trip a couple weeks later. We had a call with him, and he's like, all right, well, I want to do it. So we spent about the next 3 months after that, just kind of writing, and it came together pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You know, that it's that fine line, because I think you guys are going through it now, right? I mean, you don't want to just say, all right, we're going to write songs, and then you come out and you're like, well, we finished writing songs, and be like, well, I'm not really super pumped with all of those songs. And and I think Josh was really concerned with it because again, Kurt and I were like, all right, we're going to keep writing songs, and how many songs do we want to get to? We want to get to 12, we want to get to 14. You know, we worked, and Josh is like, well, don't just write songs because we need songs for the record. But it came out, and I think every song on this record,
yeah, I think it's our
me,
best stuff.
Is really, really, for us, we're very proud of it. I don't think we cut any corners. I don't think we pushed it through. There's 3 cover songs on there, so we got to 14 songs for the record.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, I love it. I'm really, really happy with the way it
Really
came
excited
out.
for people to hear it.
Because again, it definitely back to where we were talking before. It's 60s surf inspired music, but it's all over the place. I mean, the Huevos, which we just played, that's pretty traditional. I mean, that definitely leans towards the traditional side, but it's like the modern traditional sound that Kurt was talking about before. But there's definitely there's other songs on there that definitely go towards the punkier side, or there's a really the one of this first song on side B is really spacey. I mean, it's got Kurt's got phaser and tremolo and all sorts of stuff on the guitar sound, and we put all we use a lot of keys on it. There's synthesizer and there's Hammond organ, and we really and we didn't record it ourselves too, which was also huge, because we knew that if we recorded ourselves, it would have taken a lot more time, and we would have gotten not what we got. So we went into White Lake and recorded with our old friend Brett Portzer, and it was a lot more efficient. The result is far better than what we could have done ourselves, and it's really happy about it.
Yeah, that band Beach Bodies that we played with last night, the ukulele player works at White Lake.
Oh, really? Yeah, the place is awesome.
Yeah,
I
went because Sugarhold are recording in there.
Yeah.
And I went down to do just like a quick interview with them to talk about the process and the progress or whatever. And they were at White Lake, and I went down there. And I mean, I'm me. Like, again, I walk in that lobby and I just immediately just felt like I didn't belong. Like, I was like, this place is way too fucking fancy for me. Like,
Yeah,
what?
this is way
what
too
am I-
pro.
Yeah, I was like, what am I even doing?
I'm not in a
building?
basement right
Yeah,
now. What is going on?
Like, I'm like, I just got stoned out in the parking lot and fucking walking in.
Right,
all,
right,
hey,
right.
what's up? Oh my god, what am I doing here?
Don't touch
Like,
anything.
Yeah, totally. That's how I felt. I was like, hands in my pocket, and I got the whole tour of that place is unreal, man.
Yeah.
It's funny because we've known Brett 30
Oh,
years at least, probably.
I mean, he was at Max Tracks back in the day. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
that's where he started working
no
with
shit.
Paul, and then he had a studio down in Albany in his own place for a while. Then he was down by the port, and he mixed the Talonback record. So, but I've known him for a long time, so it was really comfortable for us.
That studio is fucking gorgeous,
But
man.
it was funny because we get in there and, again, it's a very kind of roots rock and roll style. And he's used to doing all kinds of plugins and modeler amps and stuff. And I'm like, no, I just want a mic on my Showman. I have a 65 Showman. And he's like, I haven't mic'd an amp in years. Wow. And he was having fun with it, but he's just kind of like, how do I do this?
Right.
Because it so much, it's like, oh, I'll just plug you into this Kemper over here and dial in what kind of amp do you want? And it's like, for me, it's like, no, I want to play through my amp, and like, so we worked through that, got everything set up, and came out great.
That's awesome. And so the album's coming out
End of the month. So
May,
May 31st.
And then there's other media with the album, right?
Yeah, we got a surprise coming out a week before.
Yeah, it's a music video. We did a music video.
This will be
really exciting.
It's almost done being edited. It's typical stupidity for us.
Perfect.
It's kind of
Yeah,
we're a bunch of idiots, and it's a really dumb premise, and it's stupid. Again, when you have no lyrics,
Oh yeah,
you can do whatever you want with a video because you're not trying to tie in thematically to the song,
right.
So it's fun.
And then when does that come out?
That's gonna drop on the 21st.
Okay, so next week.
Yeah. Yep.
As this airs, I mean.
Yep. So the 21st, the video is gonna hit, and that's gonna be kind of the
Hyping up the
title track or the single of the record, which is called "Forbidden Words," which is kind of another play back onto the
inside joke,
the lyrics not having lyrics, and then some other things that happened from.
Yeah, inside joke. We'll leave it at that. But yeah, so that's the title of the record and the title of the song.
Sweet. Well, do we want to maybe hear that song?
Yeah, we can play that.
Sure, yeah, let's play Forbidden Words.
Forbidden Words.
Cool. Well, let's listen to Forbidden Words, Jagaloons, and then we'll be right back to wrap it up. Forbidden Words, the Jagaloons, off their new album, which will be out at the end of this month. But, you know, if you're listening to this in the year 2030, it's been out for a really long time and went multi-platinum. So congratulations.
It's a modern classic.
Yeah, it is. So before
Required
we go,
listening.
I just want to give you guys the chance to say what I refer to as your gratitudes, your shout-outs, or whatever. So, Geoff, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, I'm just going to thank my wife, Alicia, because she really puts up with a lot. We practice at my house. We did a lot of recording at my house. I spent a lot of late nights and early mornings in the studio, so she's put up with that.
Josh is in your house every week.
Yes.
She puts up with Josh.
That's true. My parents for giving me the love of music and a little bit of talent. And that's all I can say.
I also want to thank my spouse, Kristen. Always supportive, very much appreciated. Thank my son, Kev. He recorded sax with us on the first album. He's been at college, so he really hasn't played with us in a long time, but miss him playing in the band because that's always a fun addition to have saxophone in there sometimes. So maybe he'll make a resurgence as he graduates next year. Definitely want to thank everybody kind of involved in making the record. So Johnny at Missing Fink, thanks for strong-arming us into putting the record out with you. Brett Portzer at White Lake did a fantastic job. Dave Klein, who was in Agent Orange and the Ghastly Ones and other bands, he mastered it, did a fantastic job with the mastering. And the legendary Stephen Blickenstaff did the art for the whole record. You might recognize his work from the classic Cramps album, Bad Music for Bad People.
Oh, yeah.
That's him.
No shit.
Yeah, he did our album
Holy
art.
fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. And the album art's amazing. Like, it's just so good. So thank you all for making this happen. We're really proud of this record and thankful for everybody that contributed to making it as good as it is. So
Thanks, Josh.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Josh, for choosing your family over this.
Thanks to Beth most.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We'll thank Josh's wife, Beth Michelanis. She has done tons of graphic design for us. She did the layout on the first two albums. She's taken photos. She does promo videos, stuff for us. She puts up with Josh.
Yeah, if you go back to our Instagram page, when we did that cover record that we talked about before, she did like a little video. We released one song a week over the course of 8
And she
or
did
10
little
weeks.
animations for each one.
They're all super, really, really cool little things, and they're all, like, it's so creative because she found like a piece of the song title and made it work, and she did a fantastic job with that. That was
and
the best part.
She
of
always
that whole
comes
record.
through, and yeah, she doesn't charge us, so
Sweet.
it's great. Thank you, Beth.
And she puts up with Josh, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's
So
a lot.
well, the running theme here is Josh. So thank you, Josh. We love you, buddy.
Yes.
All right. So Geoff and Kurt of the Jagaloons. I am Andy Scullin. This is Unsigned 518. I'll see you on the road. Unsigned 518 is produced and hosted by me, Andy Scullin. New episodes are available every week wherever you stream podcasts. If you would like to help support the show, please like and subscribe wherever you are listening. Or you could buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/unsigned518. If you would like to advertise on the show, send me an email at unsigned518@gmail.com. And to be a guest on the show, reach out to me through Instagram at unsigned518. Take care of one another, and I'll see you next week.